autonomy. You've got to feel that you've got a future that makes sense. And our culture is good at lots of things. I'm glad to be alive today. But our culture has been getting less and less good at meeting these deep underlying psychological needs for lots of people. And that is the key reason, it's not the only one, but it's the key reason why we have this rising depression and anxiety epidemic. That can sound a bit weird in the abstract, so I can give you some specific examples if you want.
Okay, sure.
So I'll give you one example. I noticed that lots of the people I know who are depressed and anxious, their depression and anxiety focuses around their work, right? Started to think, what's going on here? So I started to look for evidence about how people feel about their work. Best research on this was done by Gallup, the opinion poll company. Massive detailed study, took a couple of years. They found the figures for how people feel about work in the US and other comparable countries. What they found is 13% of us, 13%, basically like our work. Most of the time we get energy from it. 63% of us are what they called sleepworking, so don't like their work, don't hate their work, they're just kind of enduring it. And 24% of people fucking hate their work, right? Fear it and dread it. So I was quite struck by that when I looked at it. That means 87% of people don't like the thing they're doing most of the time.
That's
right?
incredible.
It's striking. And bear in mind, this thing that we don't like has spread over even more of our lives, right? Average person answers their first email at 7:48 a.m. and leaves work at 7:15 p.m. So this is most of our waking lives, we're doing something we don't like. I started to think, could there be some connection between that and this epidemic of all sort of forms of despair, anxiety, depression, addiction? So I started to look for scientists who'd studied this. I discovered an amazing Australian social scientist called Professor Michael Marmot, who I got to know, who discovered the key to what causes depression at work, right? There's several aspects of this. I can tell you the story of how he discovered it if you want, because I think it's an amazing story. But the core of it is, if you go to work and you are controlled, so you feel you have low or no control, you are radically more likely to become depressed. To learn more on this, check out my book and audiobook on depression, Lost Connections.